Okay. The third factor here. Okay, so the first factor was how many you get right. The second factor is how hard the questions were. The third factor is how many questions you answered. So on the GMAT, you cannot skip questions and you can't leave questions blank. Okay, but the one thing you can do is you can run out of time. And so it's certainly possible that you might just do this and just get to here, okay, and then have your time run out. So what the test will do is it'll stop and it'll see what your score is right here. And it might say, okay, your score was pretty good. Let's say your score was something like, let's say a 40. Okay, so a 40 is a nice above average math score. It's an above average verbal score for sure. Then the test looks at what number of question you're on. Okay, and it compares that to the total number of questions. And it says, hey, you know what? You only did 30 questions out of 40 questions total. That's interesting. So we don't think you're actually as good as what your score said. In fact, we think you're 75% as good as what your score said. And so what it does is it takes this number here and it just decreases it by 25%. So if you would have had a 40, then it just lowers that and it drops it back down to a 30. So Holly just asked a question. Will the exam tell you what number of question you're working on or how many you have left? And the answer is yes, definitely. You will always see the number of questions. You will always see the question number. And you have a clock with the time remaining. One other little point there, they have a clock that shows you the time remaining. It's a countdown timer. You are able to hide the time, maybe like if you think it's too stressful to see it or something like that. I definitely don't recommend that you do that. I definitely think you should be looking at the time and have the ability to see the time throughout the test. That said, I don't think people should look at the time after every single question, right? Because after every question, like, oh, did I spend more than 2 minutes? Oh no, oh, did I spend more than 2 minutes? That's just going to cause anxiety and it's not going to be productive, right? But what I like to do is I look at the time basically after every 10 questions. So when I get to question number 10, question number 20, question number 30, and then maybe 37 or 41, then I think about where I'm supposed to be. So at question number 10, okay, so let's say at the beginning you have 75 minutes, right? Maybe question number 10, I want to be at 55 minutes. Maybe at question number 20, I want to be at something like 35 minutes. Maybe at question number 30, I want to be at something like 15 minutes. And then, of course, by the end, I want to be down at 0 minutes. So just have kind of like a rough guideline. You know, and if you're within a minute or so of this, you're probably doing okay. But if you're going way too fast, you know that you can slow down and spend more time double checking. If you're going way too slow, then you know you got to kind of hustle a little bit and kind of try to guess to catch up.